Insurance for when there's a hitch in the trailer hitch. Tennesseans know that sometimes life has its loose ends.
Good thing we had that trailer added.
Know that Farm Bureau Insurance is there to help. Tennessee Insurance for Tennessee Life.
All right, good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's 6:02, getting us out the door here this morning, checking the time, so hopefully you don't run late here this morning. Let's get the clock up there for you. So you know exactly what's going on. Here's the deal. We do have our weak little wave that's going to be swinging its way through the area today. It's not going to do much, but don't be caught off guard if you get a couple of showers here today. And then as we get into the weekend, obviously we're talking about that. More importantly, we now are within the window where the Storm Prediction Center is now issuing the more detailed severe weather forecast. And we here in East Tennessee are under a level 2 and a level 3 risk for severe storms. All modes of severe weather are on the table on Saturday, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night into our Sunday morning. And it's not just the possibility of severe weather, but it's the extreme wind that we're going to have taking shape here around the area. So let's say good morning to Julie. We got Deborah joining us this morning. Good morning, Aaron. Thank goodness she says it's Friday Eve. Yes. Let's get that out there, right? We sure hope you have a great Friday Eve. Now, tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day. However, we're talking about some elevated fire danger, so we're going to have to walk you through that forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Let's go ahead and start you off first things first with a live look there in downtown Gatlinburg here this morning. Hey, listen, if you live across the mountain counties, we're talking about extreme wind to set up shop. I don't even know why I'm not centered. We're talking about some extreme wind that is going to be setting up shop across the mountains. Another mountain wave event where we could see winds gusting to 60, 70, 80, maybe even 90 miles per hour. A very strong low-level jet is going to be swinging its way on through, and that's going to be it's going to be perpendicular to the Smoky Mountains, and so that's why we get those downsloping winds. And so if you live and join us from a county that typically gets some extreme wind, when we have these mountain waves set up shop, probably a good time to start preparing, anchoring things down, because we are talking about a lot of wind that's going to be pushing its way on through the area. All right, let's talk about the almanac here for a second, because with that, yesterday we did make it to 77 degrees. It was a beautiful day yesterday. 42 was the morning low, by the way. We made it to 79 in Chattanooga. So we were close to records, but no records yesterday. No records yesterday. But definitely another warm one. All right, here's our little wave of energy that's going to be swinging its way on through. This takes us all the way through 6 o'clock this morning, which, of course, it's now 6:04. Got a little cold front, but an upper-level piece of energy, an upper-level wave. Think about this as a wave in the ocean. When you're sitting in the ocean, whether it be on a float or a boat, when the wave comes through, what happens? It rises, and then it sinks, right? That's exactly what the atmosphere is doing. It's pulling up rising air out ahead of the wave. Back behind it, we have sinking air, and that's why we do have the clearing skies. And so that's kind of how the atmosphere works. Here locally, some high-level clouds starting to work their way on in. Cloud deck's going to lower and thicken up a little bit throughout the day, so do anticipate more cloud coverage today than what we saw yesterday. Good morning, Tom. How are you this morning? Tom says, good morning, East Tennessee weather family. Here we go, Lee. Shorts and golf this morning. Yeah, even, it's funny. My kid had their school, it's called the Leopard Run, the school run yesterday. And if you remember, he was asking if he should wear shorts and a sweatshirt or pants. He could so confused. I told him shorts, t-shirt, and sweatshirt. He came home saying he was so hot, especially during the run. So there it is, buddy. There it is. All right. Let's get some TDOT cameras up going on here for you. We'll get these up for you. There you go. All right, so we've got the radar on the top of the screen, TDOT cameras as well. Of course, we'll take you outside in the TDOT cameras here in just a moment. Morning temperatures, because we've got the clouds starting to move on in, a little bit of a southerly flow taking shape. They're elevated. We're in the 40s and 50s, which is well above average and even warmer than what we saw yesterday morning. Got temperatures currently, 5 to nearly 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. All right, let's talk about these weather headlines here for just a moment. Good morning, Michelle. How are you? Do you think we'll be able to see the eclipse overnight tonight? I think we're going to have some clouds in place, but I don't think they're going to be I don't think it's going to be totally overcast. So hopefully we have a chance to see it. Yeah, we have that lunar eclipse that's occurring tonight. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Joanne. Picnic lunch again today, says Katrina. That sounds perfect. All right, here we go. So weather headlines. Upper level wave moves through, bringing us clouds and light rain today. Friday brings us warm, windy conditions and elevated fire danger once again, especially across the mountain counties. because this is ahead of even when the showers are going to move on in. And so now we've got extreme wind, low relative humidity. However, even though we say low relative humidity, the dew points, the moisture in the atmosphere is going to be increasing. And if you were with me yesterday, I said tomorrow, you'll probably really notice that there's probably a change heading our way. You'll feel that. And I'm not talking about the pressure levels, although the pressure will gradually drop and then quickly drop as we get into our Friday and Saturday. So some of you may start to feel the pressure change, but I'm just simply talking about the humidity and the warm temperatures and the breezy winds. And so you're just going to feel that tomorrow. Let me know if I'm wrong. All right, and then strong storms move in Saturday. All modes of severe weather are on the table. We'll get to work with that Saturday and weekend forecast coming up here in just a second. Let me highlight what's going on for the day today so folks can plan accordingly. From now through lunchtime, not expecting a whole lot. We don't have really any rainfall out there right now, but as that wave starts to work its way into the area, we'll start to see increasing clouds. Winds are going to be out of the south and southwest. Now, I think this model is overdoing it, but this is based on the HRRR. That's where it initiated out of anyways, and so this is my 3 kilometers. So again, the HRRR is picking up on a little bit of activity. When you translate that to the surface, we still have some very dry air in the atmosphere, and so it's going to be hard to overcome that, and so probably overdoing that like Fentress County, I don't think you're going to see an inch of rain. I think it's going to be less than 0.2 of an inch of rain in isolated locations. So it's not necessarily an all-day rain for all of us. So, but plan accordingly, of course, if you work outside. And that should be about the extent of it. All right, let's talk about your 7-day forecast. We'll just break it out through Sunday. We'll finish your 7-day coming up here in just a few minutes. But again, a gusty, warm, fire danger tomorrow. Look at those temperatures. We're at 76. Today, I'm even going 74. So I've bumped up that temperature a little bit from what I was talking about yesterday. I think I had 70. I had 70 yesterday. So we'll see how this all plays out. All right, Saturday and Sunday, obviously, all eyes on our weekend forecast. We've got big events. We've got the Shamrock Festival going on at World's Fair Park. Of course, a lot of folks are going to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day, heading off to some Irish restaurants and just enjoying the weekend, hopefully. Listen, I want you to pay attention to the weather because I'm not sounding like some major alarm, but you'll see here in a second that all modes of severe weather are on the table. That does include tornadoes, hail, damaging winds, localized flooding and flash flooding, all on the table as we get into our Saturday. We'll break it down, and of course, as we start to really get into our high-resolution models, we're now in the medium-range models, but once we really get into the high-resolution, we'll really have a better idea. So tomorrow morning, we'll have a great handle on how possibly Saturday is going to play out. But strong storms, heavy rain, and conditions will deteriorate throughout the day on Saturday. And I want you to pay attention to this too, because I do anticipate the possibility of supercell thunderstorms, isolated supercell thunderstorms to be forming out ahead of the main front Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. Those would be individual cells. We've got a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere, wind changing speed and direction with height, and so that gets these thunderstorms to rotate. If we do get some of these discrete cells, then they're by themselves, and they don't have anybody to fight the energy or moisture with, and so that's when we can get some serious storms. And so that's what we have to watch out for closely for Saturday. Listen, the consistency has been there since last Friday. It is Thursday. Impressive. That's why, since last Friday, the Climate Prediction Center was already issuing graphics. The Storm Prediction Center was already issuing graphics saying, hey, listen, heads up. There is a lot of consistency with this, and we're talking about a storm system that could be comparable to a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane. That's the kind of storm we're talking about. Over land. Doesn't have tropical moisture, but it has a lot of energy. And think about a hurricane, how much energy is stored up in a hurricane. That's what's expected as this low comes off the Rockies and intensifies rapidly today into tomorrow. That's what we're going to be watching. So we've talked about it. Heavy snow across the West Coast, blizzard conditions across the high plains in the upper Midwest, severe weather, heavy rain across the Southeast, even high fire danger and extreme winds across parts of Texas and Oklahoma. So everybody's going to be affected by the storm system across the entire country. So that's what we have to watch out for. All right. So with that said, the Storm Prediction Center now this is day number 2. This is for tomorrow. This is Friday into Saturday. Day number 2 with the Storm Prediction Center. And now they have a level 1, 2, 3, and 4 risk. Serious weather. Tornadoes and large, long-lived, long-track tornadoes are possible from northwest Tennessee, Paducah, so southwestern Kentucky. St. Louis is kind of in the bullseye. So if you know anybody in St. Louis, give them a heads up, obviously. Hopefully they're aware of it. But if you have friends and family members, if you have, say, elderly parents that live in, say, St. Louis or anywhere in this bullseye of severe weather tomorrow into Saturday, remember that you can always add that city to the East Tennessee Weather app. I will walk you through how to do that on the app coming up here in just a few minutes, because I want you to understand that if you add a location in the country to the East Tennessee Weather app, it will notify you of severe weather in that city as long as you allow notifications. So not only does it travel with you if you travel for your job or vacation, but you can literally stay on top of the weather for, say, your elderly parents or your kids that are off to college and not paying attention. And you as a parent or as a daughter or a son can actually call them up and say, listen, I just got these alerts for your location. You need to go to shelter now, because we are talking tornadoes. So again, I'll walk you through that coming up here in just a few minutes. Good morning, Laura. How are you this morning? All right. So as this storm system moves on to the east, Saturday into Sunday, we here in East Tennessee are now under a level 2 and a level 3. A level 3 is an enhanced risk for severe weather that ups the game, if you will, for severe storms. Tornadoes, large hail, damaging wind, all on the table with this system. And the bullseye seems to be from Birmingham, Montgomery to Jackson. That's the kind of storm we're talking about. And now here, hold on a second. For those that may be traveling, listen, spring break starts for many counties, Knox County, starting tomorrow after school. So let me go back to this map for a second. Anybody traveling for spring break tomorrow or Saturday and you're going to be heading west, you might want to hold off a little bit, or make sure that you stay on top of the situation. And again, allow GPS notifications with the East Tennessee Weather app, because as you travel, you will be notified from the East Tennessee Weather app that you are now currently in a tornado watch, severe thunderstorm watch, tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, flooding, flash flooding. These are all the things. That's why it's important to scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of the screen if you're going to be traveling for spring break. Now, again, if you're going to be heading off on Saturday into Sunday for spring break, let me go back. Let me go forward, not backwards. If you're heading off on the spring break Saturday into Sunday, a lot of folks are going to be traveling. I've been trying to field a lot of messages on Facebook about traveling out of McGee Tyson Airport. Are we going to be able to get out? Listen, I think we're going to have major flight delays and cancellations across the country. Some of the major hubs across the country are going to be impacted by a severe weather, or just by the storm in general. And realize, even if you're not in a blizzard, even if you're not in severe weather, we're talking about extreme winds, and planes can't take off and land if the wind is too strong, especially a crosswind. Things to think about. And again, I could try to answer as many questions as I possibly can, but I just say keep in touch with your airlines. And then if you're traveling Sunday into Monday, because you got to work or something, and you're traveling to the East Coast, now we have a 15% chance for severe weather across the East Coast as this storm system slides east. So again, from extreme West Coast to extreme East Coast, this storm is going to be impacting millions. Felicia, dreading the winds and storms Saturday. Will Sunday be better? Sunday will be better. It's going to be cooler. We're still going to have the wind, but we're not going to have the storms. So Sunday is going to be a much, much better day. Good morning, Cheryl, by the way. We've got Shannon Marie O'Reilly Harville. Shannon Marie O'Reilly Harville. Nice. I love that. Good morning to you as well. Good morning, Tanner. Let's see. I will be available Saturday to chime in if needed. Yes, heads up, but with your weather watchers, I'll be sending out that link if you want to join in on the broadcast, because we will be doing live severe weather coverage at some point on Saturday. No doubt about that. So again, and I'll send you push alerts when I do live severe weather coverage. If you sign up for YouTube, of course, you'll get that notification from YouTube. Make sure you allow notifications from Facebook. You'll get those notifications that I'm doing live severe weather coverage there. So there is no excuse. There's plenty of options with East Tennessee Weather to get your information. All right, let's go ahead and walk you through the forecast. Okay, this is my 15 kilometers, so this is my medium range, because again, my 3 kilometers not quite all in yet, because we're not close to the storm yet. So warm front comes on through Saturday morning, maybe a couple of showers. So if you have morning plans from, say, sunrise to noon, the wind is going to be with us. We could have a couple of showers, but I think the first part of our Saturday should be just fine. I mean, when I say just fine, I'm not talking severe weather. Do we have some rain showers? Sure. Do we have the clouds and the wind? Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's going to be your best time, your best window to get outdoor activities done, get the ball games done, because I think as we get past lunchtime, you need to stay on top of the situation. So if you do have outdoor plans, if you are going to be heading off to Shamrock Fest in downtown, listen, I've got a good friend that's put on a lot of time, a lot of energy to put on this festival for us here in East Tennessee. I've been helping them out with the coverage of the weather. And so, again, just make sure that you check in Saturday morning because, of course, we'll be in the day of the event. I will be doing a live coverage Saturday morning for Wake Up with Witcher. And then, again, we'll be broadcasting live throughout the day. And I will likely have some sort of graphics showing up on my on the East Tennessee Weather app. I'll probably set up a specific show so you can see how this storm is all playing out and as it approaches our area. And that will be available as well. All right. So here we go. By noon, not a lot of activity. So again, from sunrise to noon Saturday, we should be A-okay. But from noon to 7, that's what we have to watch out for. Now, again, this is just one model run. Do not take this to heart. This doesn't even show the intensity of the storms that we're expecting. So again, don't take this to heart. This just gives us the general idea as we get closer to 7 o'clock. So from noon to 7, I think we have a chance for seeing those discrete cells that would give us rotation, spin, severe storms, isolated supercells possible. We need to watch that one closely, for sure. And then from 7 to midnight, that's when the main line comes through. And again, damaging winds associated with that. Isolated tornadoes, still can't rule that out. The center of low pressure and the greatest risk for severe storms is going to be a little bit further to the north as you get a little bit closer to that low. And then cool high pressure builds in back behind that. I'm not done yet. Hold on a second. All right, let's see. Let's go to the chat here for a second. Let's see, Mike, you better get sleep. It will be a long night. It's going to be a long day Saturday. I've already warned my family. Katrina said, listen, don't expect me to be around and to be present on Saturday. I'm going to be super busy trying to keep everybody up to date. All right, so rainfall amounts. We're talking 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. Again, with convective storms and the possibility of training, i.e. more rain over the same location over and over and over again. If we see that, these numbers, I mean, these are just general broad brush numbers. These aren't specific numbers. And so, again, flooding and flash flooding could be a major concern. National Weather Service is talking about that as well. All right, let's switch over to the wind aspect of this. Hey, good morning, family. Good morning, Kipton. Good morning, Caden. Got my family joining us here on the chat this morning. Hey, kids, I sure hope you have a great day at school today. And if you're looking how to dress, similar to yesterday. A little bit cooler, but similar. All right, there we go. Good morning, John Ashley. How are you this morning? Got David joining us as well. Good morning to you. All right, let's see. Terribly worried about my kiddo riding to Central Alabama on Friday with her dad. They'll be towing a camper. I mean, here, I'm just going to throw this out, Laura, because she asked the question. I'm going to throw Laura's question back up there. Laura, if I can make a recommendation, I mean, we're expecting a lot more severe weather in Alabama than we are here in East Tennessee. So I don't know what they're doing, where they're going, why they're going down there. They're going camping. But listen, being in a camper during severe weather, obviously not the best place to be at all. You don't want to be there. Mobile homes, of course, as well. Laura, I'm just going to give you my best advice. I would tell your kid to hold off until Sunday. Do not travel till Sunday. Stay anchored in East Tennessee. We'll have the less risk for severe weather than they will down in Alabama. Again, because this is the story. I'm just going to throw this back up here because Laura's asked the question. This is what we're talking about. You said Friday. Wait. Oh, let me go back to your chat here first. Just a second. You said Friday? Let me go back. Let me get my facts straight here. Friday. Okay, yeah. So, they're leaving on Friday, but the problem is that's the storm on Friday into Saturday. And so you can see that even Birmingham has a level 2 and a level 3 risk. But then you switch over to Saturday and a Sunday. And of course, if they're going to be in Alabama, Saturday and Sunday, they don't want to be there. They don't want to be there at all. So can you do me a favor, Laura, and just tell them that they need to hold off until Sunday. They can travel down to Alabama on Sunday, stay here for tomorrow. All right, that's what I would say. Let's go back to the wind side of the storm system because we've got a lot of wind associated with this. And so if you look at the wind is going to be increasing throughout the day tomorrow. So we're probably going to have some wind advisories. Of course, we have the high wind watch that I'll talk about here in a second, likely to be upgraded to a high wind warning for the mountains because we are talking about a mountain wave event due to the fact that these winds are going to be perpendicular to the mountains. So the winds are really going to be cranking. And again, this is my medium, this is my 15 kilometers, so it doesn't have the resolution that we'll have once we get into the day tomorrow. Friday evening, here comes the storm system, really cranking with, again, the blizzard across the high plains in the upper Midwest. The winds are going to be cranking around all of the region. Saturday morning, the winds are going to be breezy and gusty, and they're going to be breezy and gusty through noon, but watch how the winds really increase as our storm approaches, and the winds are going to really start to crank ahead. It's right along the leading edge of that frontal boundary, just cranking. And so this is what we need to watch out for Saturday. So that's why I said damaging wind gusts are definitely going to happen with any of the storms that do fire up. Especially, now we're starting to get some of the trees. I don't know if you noticed the trees around your area starting to bud a little bit. That adds more surface area to the trees. Now, we don't have a lot of trees that are budding and blooming, but we have some. And then on Sunday, here comes the wind on the backside of that system. Sunday's going to be a great day, but it's going to be a breezy day. I always say it because I'm an aviator myself, but if you are a general aviation pilot and you want to head out and practice some crosswind landings, Crossville is going to be a great airport on Sunday with those northwesterly winds. You'll really get a good idea of how to land that plane in a strong crosswind. All right, so a high wind watch has been issued from the National Weather Service. Southeasterly wind, 25 to 40, gusts to 70 miles per hour. So again, that goes into effect tomorrow night and lasts all the way through Saturday night as the storm approaches and moves into the area. All right, here's the rest of your 7-day forecast. We'll take this full here so you can see exactly what's going on. Warm, gusty conditions, fire danger tomorrow. We have a weak little wave, so 20% chance for some spotty showers throughout the day today. And then we're going to continue to see how this all plays out Saturday and Sunday. So again, the QR code is in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Please download the East Tennessee Weather app. Please pass it along to folks. I say that not for the... I want you to be safe. Safety first. Safety first. That's what we need for our community. And again, Laura, I just wouldn't travel down to Alabama. You don't want to put yourself in a bad situation. All right, Rick says, how is the storm comparing to the no-name storm in 1993? Totally different storm. Granted that back then, weather forecasting isn't where it is now. That is true. I was a police officer in Dunedin, Florida, and what a mess we had there. Totally different storm. We're not going to have the snowfall. And the storms, the low pressure actually is going to be up into Canada. So it's just dragging a really powerful cold front through the area that's got a lot of wind shear with the atmosphere. And so if the low were tracking down into Georgia and over into the Carolinas, and we were talking about this kind of a strength of a storm, we'd be dealing with a totally different situation. So totally different storm. All right, they're stopping at a friend's house for the night and then going to Pensacola. Well, I don't know. I can't make the call for you folks. I just give you the information, Laura. All right, Dollywood on Friday for opening day. Is it going to be okay? Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be windy. It's going to be warm. But it is going to be windy at Dollywood. Hey, by the way, big shout out to North Knox Fence LLC, one of the new sponsors here at East Tennessee Weather. You'll see him and his company on the 24-hour weather channel on the rotating ad banner. So he says, good morning, everyone. Absolutely. Thank you very much, North Knox Fence. Check them out if you're looking for a new fence, by the way. All right. Keep informed on the app. It's wonderful. Absolutely. What's the app? Elizabeth says, scan that QR code right there, Elizabeth. Scan that QR code or just log on to easttnweather.com or go to your app store and search East TN Weather, all one word. It's the orange TN and the white lightning bolts. You can't miss it. And literally allow GPS allow GPS location services and notifications. You can turn those off and on at your will, but turn them on for severe weather, for severe weather, or if you're going to be traveling on vacation. So East TN Weather, easttnweather.com. All right, here we go. Sweets Holland says, if I'm in Alabama today and drive up to East Tennessee tonight, would it be safer up there? 100%. Not sure where in Alabama you're joining us from, but absolutely it'll be safer up here than it will be down into Alabama. Alabama is always known for long track tornadoes. We are looking at a very large system to bring us tornadoes across the Deep South. So the further north you travel, the better you will be, but the wind's going to be with all of us. Will this be like the outbreak in 2011? No, I don't think so. For us here in East Tennessee, I'm going to say, as of right now, I don't think it's going to be quite the same. But yes, it is going to be similar because we have those big risks for severe weather that as this powerful cold front comes on through. So we are talking about a severe weather outbreak, but I do anticipate this to be a little different. But again, every storm is going to be just a little bit different. I just want you to stay on top of it because we are already under a level 2 and level 3 risk for severe storms here in East Tennessee. And that is day number. We're 3 days out. So do we get upgraded by the Storm Prediction Center over the next couple of days? I don't know. Thank you very much, Laura. I appreciate it. I would just stay put. There is no need to be driving into an area that is expecting tornadoes, in my personal opinion. Although I don't want to be in a hurricane, I don't want to be experiencing a tornado either. Let's see. Traveling to Nashville on Friday. Is there 2 storms on Friday and Saturday? No. There's no. So Friday, Friday into Saturday, the storm's going to sweep its way across the country. So I'll just put this back up on camera here, so you guys. So while I answer questions, you can see what we're talking about. So there we go. So I'll just answer questions. That's what we're talking about. Let me change this here for a second. Let me just do a couple things here on the fly because this will help just to really navigate you, I think, a little bit better. But we are talking about a strong cold front to swing its way through Friday into Saturday, Saturday into Sunday. So I'm just changing the banner just so it's a little bit more appropriate. So you understand exactly what we're talking about and what days we're talking about, because it's not just Friday, it's Friday night into Saturday. There we go. I just fixed that for you. All right. So it's Friday night into Saturday and then Saturday night into Sunday. So if I were to do this, watch this. This will be fun. So this will really paint the picture. That's not it. That's today's risk. Let's see. There we go. So those are the risks, right? So we've got today superimposed on tomorrow. So let me just take the opacity down just a little bit. So you can kind of really see how this is really going to be affecting our entire region. Friday into Saturday, Saturday into Sunday. That's the story. And so again, please pass that along, that information. Again, I just really wouldn't recommend traveling into places that are expecting tornadoes. A great app. I got a health provider to download. Nice. Thanks, Lee. Thanks, buddy. So I should be okay in a pop-up tent on Sunday. Just have lots of weight on the legs. Yeah, as long as the tent's going to be, you're going to put up the tent on Sunday. Maybe a little tough because it is going to be windy and breezy. But yeah, Sunday's going to be fine. Saturday, not so much. Sweets, you're so welcome. And good morning, old Seth. How are you this morning, buddy? Guess what, though? It is time to dance here this morning. Before we do so, we'll take you to the T-Dot cameras and show you what those look like here this morning, checking on those roadways and the interstate system here as we get the day started. Haven't heard of any major problems. It is 6:30. Of course, traffic obviously doesn't get busy until we get closer to about the 7:30 hour or so. All right, let's talk about today's holiday, shall we? It's March 13th. Happy March 13th, everybody. Let's move this over here. There we go. It's March 13th. So, of course, we're celebrating birthdays and events. And by the way, if you got the forecast and you just need to hit the road, have a great day. If you want to stick around for some shenanigans is what I call it, please stick around. We like shenanigans around here. All right, so we're celebrating birthdays and events. It's National Dermatologist Day. Do you get your skin checked every year? I will tell you that I actually do. I actually just got a notification just a little bit ago, actually, from my dermatologist saying it's time to come back in. I got burned really bad as a kid on my back, and so I just want to always make sure that nothing's growing there. I've already had a couple of things removed to get tested, and everything was negative, but it's super important. Or if you see something on your skin, go check it out with a dermatologist. All right, we also have a National Jewel Day. All right, we've got National Canine Veterans Day. Nice. Big shout out to those guys. Those dogs are amazing, in my personal opinion. It's National Coconut Torte Day. That sounds pretty good. National Good Samaritan Day. Be a good Samaritan every day and just have respect for people. Even when you're driving on the roadways. Listen, I got cut off yesterday. Some lady was totally in the wrong. I honked my horn because I didn't want to get in an accident, but I left it there. You know, it's not worth my energy or time or stress level to yell at somebody else. You made a mistake. Let's move on. All right, it's the National Open an Umbrella Indoors Day. Only if you want bad luck. Let's see what that one's about, shall we? That one's a fascinating one. National Open an Umbrella Indoors Day on March 13th annually is a national science experiment of sorts. Open an umbrella indoors and pay attention to whether or not you suffer from any bad luck. Anybody want to take the chance? Anybody want to take the chance? I don't think so. But here we are. National Earmuff Day. National Earmuff Day. What's that? It's got a little puppy dog on there. Recognizes the creation of the protection that keeps our ears warm. All right. The annual celebration highlights the history of fun and innovative invention each year. Do you have earmuffs? Great invention, but how many innovations have happened from the current earmuffs that we all know today? Quite a few, but pretty basic, I think. Anyways, those are your national holidays for the day today. We'll take you back outside and show you those T-Dot cameras here at this hour. Oh, boy. It is 7:34, by the way. We always want to check that time so you don't relate. It's always in the bottom left-hand side of the screen as we continue to do live coverage. All right, so again, don't forget to download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's going to be a great tool on as we get into the upcoming weekend. You'll definitely want to pay attention to the weather here this upcoming weekend. We've got a great shot of the moon that I'll end the show with here this morning, coming in from Union County. But again, please scan that QR code. Pass along the word if you are going to be traveling, especially west, southwest, starting tomorrow into Saturday. I would highly recommend you stay put. Travel Sunday. What's an extra day or two to not put yourself into harm's way? Personal opinion, but I think it's probably the best thing to do. Oh, I got still a 12-hour shift ahead of you, huh? Well, if you see my wife today, tell her hi for me. She's got a 12-hour shift ahead of her today as well. Autopilot says North Alabama and Central Mississippi always have more severe weather than East Tennessee. Huntsville, Muscle Shoals, Florence, Alabama, especially 100%. And as these storms approach, good friends of mine at Tennessee Valley Weather over in southern Middle Tennessee, they do exactly what I do here in East Tennessee with East Tennessee Weather. They've got a great app as well, so I will probably share some information on social media as this event starts to take place so we can track it from Middle Tennessee and northern Alabama as it works its way into East Tennessee. So give them some love if you're interested to track it, and then follow it with me as it moves its way into East Tennessee. Good morning, Nancy. How are you this morning? Thank you very much, Otto. I do appreciate it. Where do you buy all your fabulous prepared clothing? I cannot tell you my secret. I work in TV. You could probably take a guess. It's not going to be expensive. It looks good on TV. Not ever expensive. I will tell you that there are some stores around town that have some pretty good quality, cheap stuff. One of those places would be TJ Maxx. All right, there you go. You don't have earmuffs anymore? Or you just say, these are new earmuffs, right? When you're talking and the kids are around, you're like, earmuffs, kids. And you can say something. Hopefully have a good vacation, Seth, and have a good day today. Absolutely, Debbie, you're very welcome. And again, I really do appreciate all of you every single day. Don't forget that I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. You can put those up on the big screens if you have businesses and you've got patrons in your establishment. Roku TV, Amazon Fire, or YouTube are great to have the 24-hour weather channel there. I do overtake the weather, the 24-hour channel during severe weather. So if you have it in your establishment and I am broadcasting live, say on Saturday, I will pop up in your establishment to help your patrons navigate the weather around us. So it's a great thing to have in your businesses or in your homes. You can put it on the big screen if you're tired of watching weather on this little tiny cell phone. But again, if you do see it, I'm right there at the top of the screen. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. So that's where I am at on the East Tennessee Weather app, right there. So that's what we'll be broadcasting for severe weather. And then you can make it big, top right-hand side of the screen, turn it sideways, and then you can watch it on the bigger side. So that's something that the East Tennessee Weather app does as well. And I wanted to walk you through the app for just a second. I'm not done yet. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to walk you through the app here in just a moment. But the other thing is, if you go to easttnweather.com and you want to watch on the website, something to keep in mind that they're at the top right-hand side of the screen, because a good friend of mine asked me one day, so I couldn't find you anywhere. I said, well, did you see the watch live on the top of the website? Did you happen to see that? So if you go to easttnweather.com, this is what you will see right there at the very top. Oh, you don't see it there. Well, you don't see it there because I've got this cropped a little bit. Well, let's see if we can't get that on screen. There it is. There we go. I got it cropped like that. So there we go. That's what easttnweather.com looks like right here, top right-hand side of the screen. Click on that, watch live. That actually takes you to the 24-hour channel. Push play, and here we go. Click on that, watch live. That actually takes you to the 24-hour channel. Push play, and here we go. Click on that. Now it's just going to be an echo after echo after echo after echo. So again, so easttnweather.com, you can watch live there as well. But now I wanted to show you the East Tennessee Weather app because I wanted to show you a couple things. So if you load the app up, this is what you will see. Let me get this on camera. There we go. This is what you will see. So open the app up, and of course, you get the live cameras, forecast weather updates, where I will be updating you constantly through the weekend. But what I wanted to show you is right here at the top of the screen. See that little plus sign right there? If you click that little plus sign right there, it's a little tiny one. You make sure you have your current location turned on and as a default. If you click this, it'll add it as a default. Okay? But if you want to add a location, come down here to add a location, let's type in Birmingham. There you go, Birmingham, Alabama. Click on that. Now you've loaded Birmingham, Alabama. Let's see. I'm doing this on my computer and it's not the same. But Birmingham will load, and then you have all these notifications that you can sign up for. Just leave them all turned on. Okay? Then you have it saved. Okay, then you have it saved, and now it's in the app itself. So all you have to do, it's not working on my computer right now, but all you have to do is slide this bar right here, and the weather map will change with it. And then, of course, if you add those locations, you'll be notified when severe weather starts to move into Birmingham or St. Louis or anywhere around the country. So make sure you, again, scan that QR code and download the East Tennessee Weather app and pass along the word. I just want community awareness. I want people to stay safe because we are looking at a big event to head our way as we get into the upcoming weekend. Headed to Pigeon Forge tomorrow in an RV. Just downloaded the app. Awesome. Kyle, awesome. Now listen, do me a favor. If you are going to be vacationing in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, if you're going to be in an RV, if you live in a mobile home, have your community awareness, look around town, find a place that you could go take shelter in. A nice, sturdy building, restaurant, all brick building. There's a ton of them in Pigeon Forge. Scope them out because you don't want to be in your RV. You don't want to be in your mobile home during any severe weather events. And don't ride it out. Please don't ride it out. Better be safe than sorry, right? All right. Have a great day, everyone. Let's see. Spend time outside today and tomorrow if you possibly can. All right, here we go, my friends. Well, I sure hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a very extended Wake Up with Witcher this morning, but we have a lot to talk about, and we have a lot of community awareness ahead of us because we've got severe weather on the way. Little bump in the road here today. A couple of light showers, partly to mostly cloudy skies. We'll see some sunshine for sure. It's going to be a little bit cooler, but still above average. Tomorrow, warm, windy, elevated fire danger. We're talking temperatures mid to upper 70s. Severe weather moves its way in as we get into Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Saturday night, and then improving conditions as we get into our Sunday. Lots going on around East Tennessee. All right, again, don't forget, I am everywhere. We are all digital all the time and 100% free. You will never pay for weather with East Tennessee Weather. Have a great day.